Silence. Hillary Clinton reportedly claiming Colin Powell advised her to use private emails. What's his side of the story? Hillary Clinton claiming former Secretary of State Colin Powell advised her to use a private email account. Now Powell is firing back. Chief Intelligence Correspondent Catherine Herridge with more on that. Catherine?
Stuart, the New York Times story appears to be a strategic leak to benefit Hillary Clinton and further spread the taint of the email controversy to a Republican, former Secretary of State Colin Powell, by reporting he recommended to Clinton that she use personal email for government business. While the report does not offer direct quotes, it says Clinton relayed the claim to FBI agents during her interview July 4th weekend. And a summary is in the FBI investigative notes sent to Capitol Hill this week. During the debates, Clinton apparently said something quite different.
Secretary Powell and close aides to former Secretary Rice used private email accounts. And now you have these people in the government who are doing the same thing to Secretary Powell and Secretary Rice's aides they've been doing to me, which is that I never sent or received any classified material.
The former Secretary of State Colin Powell issued a statement today that reads in part, General Powell has no recollection of the dinner conversation. He did write former Secretary Clinton an email memo describing his use of his personal AOL email account for unclassified messages. He used a secure state computer on his desk to manage classified information. Republicans and Democrats who have access to the FBI investigative file were told that none of the information should be publicly released without prior consent from the FBI. We contacted the Bureau this afternoon to see if they had authorized the release of this information. And just as a fact check, we now know that over 100 emails were classified at the time that Mrs. Clinton sent and received them, and another 2,000 were upgraded to classified after the fact, Stuart.
All right, Catherine Herridge, thank you very much indeed.
You're welcome.
I'm going to try and simplify this with this question. Did Hillary Clinton throw Colin Powell under the bus? Let's ask Fox News national security expert Katie McFarlane. Look, I'm making a judgment here. It just seems like that to me. How about you? You've got more experience in this area.
Yeah, she tried. I don't think it worked very well. Look, this is like the summer of the lies. You know, Hillary Clinton saying, well, Colin Powell said he did it, so it wasn't such a problem. Well, I didn't have any classified emails in my personal email account. Well, it turns out that wasn't the case either. The State Department lies about hostages and releasing them for ransom. It's like everybody lies. It's right in your face, and nobody even worries about it. That, I think, is, to me, the bigger takeaway, is that people lie in Washington, and nobody's supposed to do a darn thing about it.
Well, there's a lot of detail here. And it's taken on a legalistic approach. Who said what to whom and when, and what was the true meaning of it? To me, it's a question of judgment. Why did Hillary Clinton, with all her experience, deliberately go outside the secure system and have her own private email server? She did that. What does that say about her judgment? That's where I'm coming from. How about you?
Well, I think actually you're onto something. That, in fact, is the key question. Why did she set this up in the first place? You know, why go to all of these extraordinary lengths when she knew it would ultimately probably come out? You know, Hillary Clinton knew what she was doing. She was part of Richard Nixon's Watergate impeachment operation. She knew that if you tried to do things like that, it eventually comes out. I think from the very get-go, from the very beginning of this, the Clinton time at the State Department, she wanted to protect her ability to communicate with the Clinton Foundation, the pay-to-play scheme. In other words, countries and companies donating to the Clinton Foundation expected favors from Secretary of State Clinton.
Now, you worked in the State Department, the Pentagon, you worked inside government for many years. Would you have sent a message with sensitive information on your private email system? Do you ever do that? Do you know anybody else who ever did that?
No. And I've actually emailed Colin Powell, who I worked with in the Reagan administration. I've emailed him on that private email account, the AOL account. And there was never anything classified about that. I don't know anybody who would endanger American national security to the extent that she did. It wasn't an inadvertent mistake. It didn't happen once or twice. It was 30,000 emails that were deleted. And over, as Catherine Harris just pointed out, there were over 100 of them that were highly classified. So no, I think this was a very deliberate attempt from the very beginning so that she could have a carve-out space where she could have those conversations about the Clinton Foundation donations and what she was doing as Secretary of State. Why is that? because the Clinton Foundation could accept money from foreign countries, from foreign companies, and from foreign individuals. Hillary Clinton is a candidate for public office, president, both times she ran. She could not accept foreign money. So I think it was a workaround. I think it was a Clinton Foundation pay-to-play scheme from the very beginning.
Got it. Katie McFarland, as always, thank you very much for joining us. Thanks, Katie.
Thanks, Stu.